Before God in my life, I was very angry and I was unhappy and I was jealous of everyone else's relationship with him, and I didn't understand. And I always wanted that, but I was very closed off and I was very guarded.
Before Jesus came into my life, I was lost and confused. Life really looked like just chasing things that were temporary, things that it just didn't last. If I could sum up my life in one word before Jesus came in, it would be broken and just shattered and not going anywhere fast.
Before we came to the shore, we were distant, we were scattered, we were not happy. When we came to the shore and learned about a relationship with Christ, that's when we became happy with each other. Instead of just living life, we started living life with each other instead of living life on our own in the same house.
Well, the first time I experienced Jesus, I just felt alive. I felt like things were still the same, my circumstances were still the same, but I had hope because someone was on my side fighting my battles for me that I didn't have to fight myself. And it just felt freeing, like I was no longer in chains. I was no longer worried about anything, really. I had no worries because I knew that Jesus had my back and that he was good and that his word was true.
The first morning I really felt God was during worship, and you know, the songs that we sing are just so beautiful. I remember the first time I just let myself cry, because for a really long time it was hard to let myself. And so I really felt him through worship, I think.
Yeah, for me it was just, I knew what it was to have a relationship with God, but to have a relationship with my husband was a little different. We just didn't know how to communicate. We didn't know just really how to love each other, I guess you could say. I know for me, when our relationship got better is when my relationship with Christ was better. I started digging in more to God's word and what he said, and I began to learn to love my husband the way God intended it to be. Instead of just looking at him like a stranger or just not communicating with him, just learning to communicate and to love him more.
Since God has entered my life, I feel like I've just been so much happier. The joy has grown. I've connected with my mom more because she always had that relationship and I didn't. But now it feels like I'm living so much more. Before God, I used to wake up and I know if I didn't have plans for that day, I'd worry or I'd be grumpy, well, this is a waste. I'm wasting the day.
We started to grow individually, and then I think a very pivotal point was connect groups when we started to grow together as a couple. The 5 love languages, the connect group we took together, and we began to learn how to really just love each other and love God.
The process of becoming whole was painful. I just had to really stop trying to go 100 miles an hour and just really look at myself, believe what God was saying to me, that I was his child, that I was whole in him, and he really just had to take a lot of stuff away from me, away from my life, in order for me to realize that all I really needed was him.
Today I would describe our relationship as brand new.
Now he's giving me hope and he's giving me peace and joy.
And I feel like now, especially in college, you're supposed to know where you're going. You're supposed to, you're supposed to be doing something with your time. You're supposed to be exploring and all this stuff, and now I feel like, if I wake up and I don't know what I'm doing that day, it's okay. God he'll point me in the right direction for that day, and whatever I'm doing, I'm on his time, and I'm gonna go down his path, and it's not on my time anymore. And now I wake up with a purpose, and I'm happy, and I know that it's gonna be a good day.